So it's time for another fun-filled adventure, and this is True Really News.
Hi, I'm ready for adventure.
That might be a little much. It might not be fun.
It might not be
and it might not be an adventure, but it will be
completely full. Yeah.
Yeah.
It will.
So if you like things that are filled, like, I don't know, donuts, Twinkies.
Well, I know. I'm thinking better pastry than that.
I like Twinkies.
We need eclairs.
No, when you said donuts, all of a sudden my brain went, we need Twinkies.
Yeah, but Twinkies don't taste like they did when we were kids.
They don't, but my taste buds don't work the same either, so maybe it evens out. Yeah. If you would like to follow this sort of intense discussion and witty repartee, and no, I couldn't spell that if I had to.
Hostess fruit pies.
Okay, McDonald's fruit pies, when they heat them up, how do they get the outside to be cold and the inside to be lava?
Who knew?
How do they do that?
Well, how do they get their ice cream machines that never work? I mean,
that takes effort and skill.
Apparently.
Yeah. And yet their French fries are still number 2 in my book.
There you go. Who's number 1?
Val's in St. Cloud.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Okay.
Hang on. Now I know what I want with my. I need to be dessert. And Anyway, like, subscribe, and follow This Is True Really News if you like stuff like this, because we're really good at stuff like this. Or I suppose not, depending how you look at it. Yeah, if you have a comment about how good we are, he said, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and Bob's your uncle. Just go ahead and leave the comment wherever you hear, see, and or loathe us. And
but make it good. Make it good.
If you have a story or a lengthier loathing comment, TITR at netradio.network would do the job.
This is True Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true.
Really?
As far as you know.
And now
the sponge cake thing is what I like. It's just for some reason.
Oh, those.
Although ho-hos would work in a pinch.
Sponge cake is incredible, but now they're dipping it in chocolate in so many places, and it drives me nuts. I just want that sponge cake, malty tasting.
Son, there are 2 things that make everything better in the world. 3 things.
Okay. Thank you.
Jesus.
Okay.
Chocolate.
Okay.
Bacon.
Okay. Wow. Then you didn't get my favorite, but never mind.
Of course not, because your favorite is stupid. What's your favorite?
Sex.
Hang on, I got to look that up. I'm old. It's been a while.
Yeah, well, there you go. Hey, I'm in the poetry corner now. Shut up.
Oh, boy. This is the classies we're going to get.
This
Through
was
the teeth, over the gums. Look out, stomach. Here it comes.
Well, actually, we're going to do haikus.
And
this was
now launched... now I have to count. I hope you're happy.
But you only have to count to 17. 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables.
I know that. That's all I remember of haikus, by the way.
Here's why it came to mind. There was a great meme that went out that there once was a man from Nantucket.
Yeah.
Who confused limericks and haikus.
That's very good. That's very good.
So, you ready?
No.
Haikus are easy, but sometimes they don't make sense. Refrigerator.
There you are.
See? New Year's Day.
See, I had to count. I hope you're happy.
New Year's Day. Everything is in blossom. I feel about average.
Well, it's a step up from a lot of us. So
yeah, really. To freeze the moment in 17 syllables is very difficult.
See, now poetry like this, I'd have paid more attention.
I occasionally I'll get into these spates where I'll write tons of haikus, tons of them. It's because they're fun, and it's once you get on a roll,
and the sarcasm ADHD of poetry
checks in. I've said it before, and I will say it again.
Yep,
I've said it before.
Oh, I like him, her, them.
And finally,
thank you.
The future is now. No, wait, now. No? Now, time to reminisce. These are incredibly clever.
Those are as good as what was it, the weird answers we got from high school students?
Oh, yeah.
Those were,
And isn't that fun?
yeah.
So if any of you comes up with a haiku you can send us that is at least as clever as these, we'd be happy.
Please, because we know we couldn't actually do that.
I may try my hand at it.
One of the places I go to find weird news did a recap of 2023. Let me give you the headlines.
Okay.
If you want a crafty project for 2023, online shop called Savor for $46.95. You can put together your own In Case I Go Missing binder.
I remember this.
Yeah. You put your medical, financial information, fingerprints, list of hangouts. One woman said she actually added a hair sample for DNA.
I did mine. I don't know if I told you that, but I did mine.
Yeah.
And I put in my likes and my dislikes, walking on the beach. I like pina coladas and taking walks in the rain.
So you've confused this with a dating site. Good. So Elizabeth Jeglick, a professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice. John Jay, okay, it's got the reputation.
Okay.
Soothingly says, the majority of adults won't go missing or be kidnapped, right?
Right.
Her colleague, Patrick McLaughlin, offered ideas on what to put in the kit. He said you might want to put in more things like a recent photo, how to unlock your phone.
There you go.
Any tattoos, scars, birthmarks, handwriting samples. But he said we don't know if any of that would be admissible as evidence.
If you've ever been hazed at a French restaurant.
I would go through all that. Let's leave vegetables out of this. So I would go through all
Giving
of that.
Giving up carrots for life.
Well,
can't blame me.
Bayes Research Center, Russia. Michael Raduga is 40 years old and not that bright. Oh, okay. He founded the research center in Russia.
Okay.
Just so you know, he is not a doctor or neurosurgeon.
Neither am I.
No, but you don't pretend to be and never played one on television.
That's
this moron nearly lost his life last summer when he tried to implant a chip in his own brain in his living room in Kazakhstan.
Tell me it was Lay's.
No, actually, it was a computer chip because he wanted to get better control of his dreams.
Mushrooms, dude.
Yeah. According to him, during the first 30 minutes, I was ready to give up many, many times because I was afraid I would lose consciousness. He lost about a liter of blood, so I can see why he might be losing consciousness. Raduga said, I finished the surgery, took a shower, worked for the next 10 hours straight. People had no idea. No, sir. No, they didn't. And then, of course, there's Takaku, the Japanese garment company who came up with the wearable beanbag.
I remember this.
I want one of these.
Everybody looks like
right?
an ancient M&M in those things.
Yeah, but I can live with that.
Okay.
You know how Weebles wobble and they don't fall down? We're now Weebles. This way
My
you
mom
just
was.
sit down. You put this on, you can chill out in your living room or loads of other places. I suspect you probably couldn't drive. The beanbag's available in different sizes and colors to match your mood.
Well, how do you get on public transport?
Carefully? It does. It weighs 11 pounds, so there's a little heft to it.
My.
Might have you
It's
sitting
like one of them
more.
workout vests.
The cheapest ones go for $60. Wow. Okay, I got to do one more.
Okay, do one more.
Tired of your John Hancock looking like a child scribble? No. Okay, story's over. Now, Priscilla Molina, Los Angeles, has a business.
Yep.
Planet of Names. She's going to make over your signature for anywhere between $10 and $55, depending which. Remember that one?
Yep. People use it for logos.
Why do people seek her service? She says because they're not happy with their signatures. They don't relate to who they are. At this point, I go, what the hell? They don't give the message they want to convey to the world.
Good
See,
catch.
mine does.
Yeah, so does mine.
Mine is, look, here's what a kid with a crayon could do if he were 65.
And doesn't care.
I have a long last name. If you see my signature, you can make out the V.
Yes.
And the S.
Well, you might make out the T in Tony.
Tony, I do pretty well, which I don't know why.
Yeah.
No, I don't, because when I do Anthony, it's like A-Y. The only thing you see is the A-T and Y.
Addie.
Oh, you might see the K in Verkenis.
Addie somebody.
She says she designs up to 300 custom signatures a month.
Wow, good for her. Actually, they're cool. I've seen them, and they look great.
And they range from the elegant to the artistic to the illegible. Lady.
We can do that on our own.
What's my guess? And how much you want to bet that's her most popular package? Can't be read by anyone.
I used to practice mine till I got a good one.
Really?
Yeah, I literally developed my signature for signing. What a cocky bastard I am.
I don't think you're that cocky. Arrogant, maybe.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Okay. And the best signature story of all time is Harmon Killebrew.
Okay.
He's a Hall of Fame baseball player. Played for the Senators, the Twins.
Yep.
Nicest
he was one of our heroes when we were kids.
Yep. Nicest man in the world.
I love his root beer.
And and the little street they have around the old ballpark, which isn't there anymore, but Killebrew Drive is still there.
Yep.
Where was I now? Oh, he would teach all the rookies long past his playing days, because Michael Kadire remembers. And Mikey played, in the 90s, early 2000s?
You're right.
He remembers Harmon telling him, listen, if you're going to sign that autograph, make sure you sign it well enough so they can read it. Because some little kid is going to look at that years later and go, I remember always, for the fans, make your autograph legible. I thought, yep, that's Harmon.
Oh, that sounds like
him in a nutshell.
That sounds
all right. Sorry, go ahead.
Every chord change at a German church makes international news.
Why?
Because it's a performance of avant-garde composer John Cage's Organ Squared ASLSP, and it's slated to last for centuries.
The piece?
Yes.
Why?
In 1985, when Cage wrote a piano version of what would later...
We should really have a harp right there.
I just...
In 1985.
On what would later become Organ Squared ASLSP, he directed musicians to play his notes as slowly as possible. They've complied. The performance began on what would have been Cage's 89th birthday, September 5th, 2001. A collection of music aficionados, scholars, and former collaborators planned a one-of-a-kind tribute to Cage in Halberstadt, Germany, where the first modern keyboard organ is thought to have originated. So they dreamed up a performance that would last as long as the Halberstadt instrument, believed to have been built in the city's cathedral in 1361. Since at that time, that was 639 years before the turn of the millennium in 2000, the group settled on a 639-year concert. A custom organ was constructed at the medieval church of St. Burkhardi in Halberstadt. The performance opened...
The rum?
No, Burchard. The performance opened with a 17-month pause. Now, this is something I can get behind.
So you know that little squiggle they put?
Yeah.
That must have been a big squiggle.
Right? And one chord lasted nearly 7 years.
All right. Just a show of hands, please. Everybody wondering what the hell.
Sandbags moved by human hands weighed down the pedals to engage the organ's pipes. 15 chord changes have occurred so far. We have 720
people with their hands up, and we don't have that many people to watch us.
15 chord changes have occurred so far. The next is scheduled for February this year.
I don't want to be there for that.
So far.
Oh, wait, I have socks I have to sort. Otherwise, I would be right there.
Private donors have raised about $1.2 million to fund the project, but more is needed for the concert to continue uninterrupted all the way through its scheduled end in 2640.
That you raised millions for?
That was my question by the end of the story. It was, what?
That's...
What's left to do?
2 words. When I hear avant-garde, my ears close, my eyes close, my brain shuts off. and I try to find my happy place because it's obviously not there. All right, stick with me here. 1899, Peshawar, Pakistan.
Okay.
James Squid, a drunken British officer. There's a reason that drunken part's important. He arrested a tree. Because he thought it was a fugitive trying to get away from him. You with me now? For one, really, dude? You're that drunk? Wow.
He should get a medal just for being that drunk.
Yeah. Squid ordered the tree chained to the ground. Hey, this is from Oddity Central, so we know it's true.
It's gotta be.
The chains, by the way, have remained there for 125 years. And just so the name James Squid goes down in history, there's a little plaque that tells him why the chains are there.
You know, despite the accent, everyone still thought he was an idiot.
No matter what. And idiot comes in so many different languages. While tourists are tickled by the strange restraints, locals see the chains as a symbol of British oppression. One local said through the sack, the British basically implied to the tribesmen that if they dared act against the Raj, they too would be punished in a similar fashion. Others call
chained
it
to a tree.
Others forever. Others just call it a silly bit of living history.
Yeah, which is generally what it is. Some people
so drunk
seriously.
He arrested a tree.
Yeah. Well, put your branches behind your back. Lean over the hood.
I'm just trying to figure out where do you think it was going to go?
Obviously, he thought it was fleeing.
And who the hell agreed with him to put the chains on it? Because he's drunk. I don't think he did that.
Well, he may have had a weapon at his disposal.
Let's hope. Imperialist. No, colonist.
Oh,
colonializer.
What? No, colonizer.
What would he be? Colonizer. That's it.
Well, then they left.
Yeah, but they left their chains there.
Yeah.
That's not very friendly to Mother Earth.
Bastards.
No wonder we have global warming. Could we have more, please? Because we got snow and it's cold now, and I don't like
It's
that.
not cold. It's in the 20s. This is a really mild January, and it's going to continue with that monstrous El Nino we have going on down south.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.